This episode of Says Who is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday, though not right now due to many travels and traumas, but most of the time, you get this all over again. You get me and Maureen doing this little thing we call the Town Watch. There are also like 225 of them archived on the Patreon that you get access to. If you give it the $5 or $10 a month level, that $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the mail every single month you pay at that level. You are a member of the Says Who Sticker Club, the very best club. All of this is available to you at patreon.com/sayswho. And that's not even to mention that it literally is the thing that makes this podcast happen. Your support makes it happen. And we sure do appreciate that. And you, patreon.com/sayswho.
And I'm going to have a question about that later, Dan, about Patreon. Should I ask it now? I'm going to ask it now.
Okay.
We're going to be freestyle this week. You'll find out why we're going to be freestyle. I am subscribed to a Patreon, and it was just cycling through my Patreon the other day while I was doing something. And this creator had just done a live where they were just talking, and it was very interesting. And I was like, oh, what if we started maybe including a level with some other little like freeform things? Like
we could sure discuss the possibility. They have a lot of things. The thing that's funny, we have been on Patreon for a long time now. And I got contacted a few months ago by like a user researcher at Patreon. And they were like, you've been here a long time. We'd love to talk to you about your experience, blah, blah, blah. And then they kept being like, do you use this? And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then they're like, do you use that? And I'm like, I've never even heard of that. And it turns out they've added a lot. So at some point we should look into what's possible with Patreon.
Because I think that because this is very much a community project, like it's us, but there's community, we should be like, well, we could add some community things. Like,
true.
What do you guys want?
Let's start.
Look, Dan, it's 2025. The future is local, granular,
it's true,
community-based, making your own stuff. So,
it's all true. Patreon.com/sayswho.
And in a month's time, you are the detective, the creeping. I have so much to do for this book, Dan, and I have a book due. So I almost haven't thought about it. But it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming really soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, really is.
We were driving across Nebraska, and Janice was like, when is Maureen's mystery thing coming out? And I was all, sooner than I think.
Really sooner.
When is it?
It is the 15th in the US and wait, have I gone insane? The 16th in the US and the 25th in I think it's the 16th in the US and the 25th in the UK. I've gone insane.
Of September.
Of September. It would be a real stinger if it was 2
days from now.
August. Yes. Also, we're going to be doing things like the Velvet Knife's cover is about to be revealed.
Ooh.
I've been looking at all the cover drafts. It's amazing.
This is the next Stevie Bell mystery.
Next Stevie Bell, which is the thing I'm making in the background. There's some cool stuff going on with the Death at Morning House paperback sneak that Waterstones UK is making a special edition.
Wow.
There's all kinds of stuff happening, Dan.
You're so fancy.
I am not, Dan. I cannot emphasize how not fancy I am.
I mean, you're a little fancy.
I do occasionally do fancy things.
Yeah, there you go.
But I am, at heart, a dirtbag.
But I do think occasionally doing fancy things is a qualification of you're a little fancy.
What do you count as fancy?
Almost anything. I realized the other day that both of my children refer to fast food establishments as restaurants.
I mean, they are.
One of my childs is 20 years old now. But he's like, oh yeah, I like that restaurant. And I'm like, these aren't really. It wasn't until the little one said it the other day that I was like, oh, their perception of dining is like, let's eat in at Portillo's.
Right. They're like, you know what? I think I'm going to go a la carte at Burger King. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not going to do
Yeah.
the chef's menu in the Happy Meal.
They're like Raising Cane's is one of my favorite restaurants. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It used to be called Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Hey, listen, Dan. The way everything's priced now, it might as well be fine dining.
That's you're not kidding there.
I'm not kidding.
We ordered some Chipotle from our hotel. It was like $63 for 4 people to eat Chipotle. And I was like, what is going on in this world?
Honestly, $64 for 4 people seems. I ordered literally it was a Beyond Burger and a side.
Yeah.
And it was like $35 or something. And I was like, this is unsustainable.
This world we're living in is not fair. Anyway, books. You can always go to.
I need water. You keep talking.
Okay. You can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org. That's our own little bookshop on the internet where we have quick links to Maureen's stuff, where we have a search bar that you can find many, many books, and many of you do. And I appreciate that a lot because that, again, a little bit of that money comes back to us and helps us get this done. So I do appreciate that at kickbezosintheballs.org. Maureen Johnson is back.
I'm back.
While you're buying things on the internet, you can always go to I'm doing this all without notes, people. You can always go to merch.sayswhopodcast.com where we sell Says Who merchandise. And you can go to shop.dansinker.com where I sell merchandise of my own, though I will point out that the only thing available for the next 2 weeks is t-shirts because everything else requires me to hand ship them. And I am not there. We'll get into that in a moment. The internet.
I cannot recommend enough Trader Joe's summer flavor tangerine vanilla.
Okay.
Basically creamsicle, sparkling water. Delicious. Yeah. Refreshing.
I realized I only like 2 flavors of sparkling water. And maybe 3. I might go so far as to 3. But the people that are just like sparkling water flavor whatever, like, oh, that one, I'll try that one. No.
Oh,
that's sparkling water. I want to be sure that I'm refreshed. So I need either a lime, a tangerine, or a pamplemousse. That's it.
Wow. I have a strawberry basil from Whole Foods.
I don't need that kind of shit in my life.
It's very vegetal, I would say.
No.
Yeah, it's delicious. I am a collector and connoisseur of sparkling waters, and especially if I see that a Waterloo, like they're having a sale on the Waterloo waters. I'm like, get in my Hulking bag, you monsters! I'm dragging you home. Oh yeah,
this has been Water Watch.
I will say that the Flavortown Huckleberry Pie flavor from Waterloo it's okay. It's not great. It didn't deliver, but the lemon water ice one does.
I don't need this shit in my life. Just give me 3 flavors and make sure they're cold and I'm good.
Dan, I will drink any weird flavor of drink.
Yeah, I don't need that.
like a weird herbal tea. And a funny, also the thing you want to get me, funny colored dessert. You have like a blue dessert, like a blue wobbly thing. I will order that shit so fast. It's just instantly appealing to me. Little tiny things.
Blue I'll get one of your best blue wobblies, please.
Dan, you make a little thing that's like a panna cotta with a little blue something in it. It wobbles. It's blue. I'm all over that shit. Or a green wobbly. A green wobbly. Now a green wobbly. Now I'm interested.
Okay.
Now you have my attention.
If you're served up a green wobbly, what flavor are you expecting to enter your mouth at that moment?
A gentle key lime.
Yeah, there you go. I'd eat the shit out of that.
But it could be a mint.
Okay. Should we actually start the show?
No.
Okay, that's fine. No. Oh. Yeah.
To Says Who, the podcast. It's not a cod piece.
It's definitely not that. It is actually a coping strategy. I am Dan Sinker.
And I'm Maureen Johnson, and I'm looking at you in a hotel room with 2 double beds.
Yeah,
Those are double beds.
They're probably a double, maybe a small queen. I don't know.
Dan, you got to get that stand out of the middle, push them together, and sleep like old cartoon style, where everyone's in a stocking cap and their toes are sticking out at the end.
I am in beautiful Longmont, Colorado, where the no longer a teen and the kid. We got to the hotel yesterday. 2 days of driving, long days of driving. Got to the hotel. Both those people, despite there being a 10-year difference between, were like bouncing off the walls. And the no longer a teen was like, I think there's a park nearby. We'll go shoot some hoops. And so that we were like, that's great. Please, we're exhausted. We're going to lie on this bed and not talk. And you guys go shoot some hoops. And then we get a text from the no longer a teen about, I don't know, 15 minutes in. He's all, well, we're definitely in the Boulder area again. And I'm like, why is that? He's all, a guy just walked into the basketball court next to us and is practicing cracking his whip.
I got to move there.
And then he came back and he was like, yeah, the whip guy was there for a long time. And then a guy came smoking an enormous blunt and flew a RC plane that he then proceeded to crash.
I just want to shout out to one of our listeners, Theo Black, who is husband to my friend Holly Black.
Yeah.
Who one time I was visiting them and it was a terrible day. And he just looked at me and he said, you want to go whip some gnomes? And I said, yeah. And so he took me outside. They have like their backyard has this kind of area that kind of drops off suddenly. And he lines up all these little gnome decorations.
Like garden gnomes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you whip them until they fall off the side. And let me just tell you something. Whipping some gnomes is sweet. He also had a crossbow. And Oscar was like a little concerned, but I was like 100% I need to try his crossbow. He also once chased off an intruder. Like someone was full on trying to break into their house. Like the door was shaking. It was about to, and as the person broke through the door, he came running down the stairs with a goddamn sword.
What?
And chased them away. That is true.
That
is why he's the greatest guy in the world.
We stopped at a random gas station in Avoca, Iowa, which is nowhere. It's like it's west of Des Moines and east of no longer Iowa. That's about the best description I can do. It was a very large gas station-y rest stop that had like a Wendy's and a Taco John's and that kind of thing inside of it. And then it had a sizable store. And I got a text again from the no longer teen who loves himself a gas station. My kids may not understand what a restaurant is, but they appreciate a gas station. And so in that way, I feel like I've done okay by them. Anyway, I get a text from him and he goes, I might buy this. It's only $60. And then there's a photograph of, I shit you not, Maureen, a 3-foot-long mace with an enormous silver ball with huge spikes coming out of it. And I was like, what? And then it turned out there was an entire armor section in this gas station. You could buy breastplates. You could buy helmets. They had multiple swords. I don't know why. And then we were driving and
did he buy it?
He did not buy it. For some reason, we approached this gas stop as if we had all the time in the world. And we kind of went in individual ninja style instead of everyone going in at once, right? So we were at this gas station for at least 40 minutes because it was just so slow and inefficient, which made me insane. But that's a story for another day. What made it entertaining was everyone experienced the gas station in a different way. I only experienced it in I need to use the bathroom and I'm going to bring the little one to the bathroom too. That was my entire experience. But Janice and the no longer a team really had a good time. And then as we were driving, they got to compare notes. And at one point, the no longer teen said to Janice, "Did you see the whole big like lost tomb of Anubis section?" I don't know what was happening in this gas station, Maureen, but it was incredible.
Dan,
I will find the photograph in my text messages just so that you will believe me about the mace.
Dan, are you drinking coffee on the road or are you consuming psilocybin? Because I just a tomb of Anubis, a mace, like it. You had me at whipping.
Okay, here it is. Can I buy this? This is not going to translate well to this camera.
That's. Oh, yeah.
There, you can see it.
That is. Yep.
It was huge. And so then there's another text here from Janice that just says, "What's going on with the nightwear in here?" And there's breastplates up on the wall. There's like tunics.
Sure enough. Oh, there are tunics. Yeah, like St. George's Cross tunics. But like, you know
this
what?
This appears to be the Anubis section.
Huh. God, that looks like my gynecologist's office. You know, that's covered in crystals now.
Here's a photograph of all of the various Roman helmets.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's going on in this gas station?
It was like, I was most captivated by the ad that was saying that Wendy's has Takis themed food. That's as far as I got in that gas station, but apparently you could go a long way. You could go on a real journey there.
Did you go through a Stargate or something? What is happening?
It sort of seems like that. But no, it's just Avoca, Iowa.
Wow, I got to move there maybe.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
We actually we stopped there in part because we knew we needed gas. There's gas stations get sort of few and far between on that side of Iowa. And we knew that one because eons back, we used to stay at the Motel 6 across the street. And that Motel 6 was owned and operated by a guy who desperately did not want to be in Avoca, Iowa, and was very excited to learn that we were from Chicago. And he wanted to let us know everything he knew about Chicago. It was one of those things where it was like, you probably shouldn't have bought a motel here, man. Like, I'm just going to give you some advice.
Right.
You're now kind of stuck. But the Motel 6 is still there.
You know, Dan, I have been looking at, first of all, my in-laws are moving. They have accepted an offer on their house. And so they are actively now.
Was it from you?
No.
Dang it.
Somebody that doesn't deserve it is buying it. And so it's all happening. And they are actively looking at houses. And I am included in the family WhatsApp chat on these houses that face, like, they want to be not in the city, but in a village kind of near the city.
Okay.
So near the mount, like in the Cotswolds. So all of these little villages that face out on these greens and amazing views of like the hills. So basically you walk out and then you're just in fields on hillsides, but more of a sustainable house with like a drivable, you know, you can get somewhere, or even if necessary, take a bus to get somewhere.
Yeah.
But just looking at the views and having come back from England and been around those, on all my friends, I will say, especially Holly, are like, you really seem to like outdoor stuff. Whenever you're outdoors, you're constantly talking about how much you love it. Like, as we walked through the forest at the hotel we were at, I was like, this is amazing. And she's like, you really love this. And I was like, I belong in the filth. And
no, you don't.
As I'm thinking about, you know, I came back after 3 weeks in England, a week in Philadelphia, kind
Yeah.
of came back with a thud. And I was on a deadline the whole time. And I
Yeah.
spent a couple days not knowing where the fuck I was.
Yeah.
Definitely waking up going, I have no idea. Could be, and just sort of doing that brain thing where you're like, okay, let me work out from the dimension. What side of the bed am I sleeping on? I think I'm in England. No. I definitely left England. So that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then kind of getting flair. I'm on this deadline. Guys, I have a book that's due. It's actually going really well. So it's the new Stevie Bell book. It's just got a big cast of characters. So balancing all them all out. I'm doing a lot of cross-checking, re-scening things. And I have a book coming out, and it's all quite a lot. So my brain
It's
is
a little bit
occasionally farting. But looking at some of these pictures of these houses,
yeah.
and then occasionally Googling houses that I can buy in various places where a bunch of people could live.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like a little group, if someone wanted to also live there. And
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about something, I'm thinking about the fact that I live in New York City.
Yeah.
And that right now in Washington, D.C., and yes, I'm already getting into it. We have no notes today because Dan has been in an armory in a gas station in Iowa. Trump just decided to send the National Guard in and take federal control of D.C. and just basically have people getting roughed up on the street.
Yeah.
So there's military walking around the streets of D.C. just hassling people.
I for a multitude of reasons, I have been very out of the news loop in the last week and a half or so. And so it's one of those things where you sort of experience it by occasionally coming up for air and looking around and then going back down.
That was me in England.
I saw one little thing that said that FBI agents are walking beats at night in DC.
In fact, one guy from DC got into it with them, some kind of like a pink polo shirt, was screaming in one of their faces. And then he full on threw a foot-long sub at the FBI agent and then ran like hell.
I just think that if you've signed up for the FBI, you were not expecting that you would suddenly become a beat cop in Washington, D.C. at night.
No, I would guess not.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I did emerge from the haze enough to see that the Drizz has finally been removed from the FBI.
R.I.P. the Drizz.
The Drizz.
We'll always have the Drizz.
For those of you that don't know, the Drizz was briefly the head of the FBI. His actual name is Brian Driscoll. He was briefly the head of the FBI at the start of the Trump administration because they accidentally put his name on the list instead of the guy below him. He was supposed to be the acting number 2, but they reversed the order. And instead of saying, whoops, we reversed the order, they were like, yeah, this guy. He's affectionately known as the Drizz. His official FBI photo, the look on his face is somebody who just laid a very smelly and humorous fart just as the guy was taking the photo.
That's the Drizz.
Yeah.
That's how the Drizz does it.
He'll just lay a stink bomb, be like, yeah, it was me.
I'm the head of the FBI. What are you going to do about it? And they said,
but then
we're going to patrol the streets of DC.
He proceeded to, for the brief period that he was in charge of the FBI, actually stop a mass firing of FBI agents that had worked on January 6th. And generally seemed to stand up for the FBI rank and file at every possible turn. So I can't help but think that losing the Drizz and being reassigned as a beat cop, the morale at the FBI has to be extremely low.
Dan, it's hard to know who to root for anymore, but it's the reason I was saying about the real estate is that since this is happening in DC, the next thing Trump said is he's going to create a kind of like a strike force
Yeah.
of 600 military
Yeah.
to be able to be deployed anywhere within an hour, that there's civil unrest, read as anything, just anything.
Yeah.
And what I have been assuming all along is that because of what's going on in New York with the mayoral race, that we're going to have some kind of absolutely batshit insane stuff happen pretty soon. I would say starting next month, really, would probably be it, because the election is only September, October, then early November.
It is coming up.
We're really rolling in on it because it seems like it's a year away, and I'm like, no, it's like 2.5 months away.
Yeah.
No, almost 3. Maureen, give yourself time. Breathe. Under 3 months away. And as soon as, I don't know what is going to trigger it, but he's so against Zoran as a candidate.
Yeah.
That, I mean, we have this weird Zoran Cuomo thing happening now, which is getting genuinely more and more hilarious.
Yeah.
As Cuomo's getting owned and owned and owned and owned. But Cuomo is emerging as the absolute Trump candidate.
Yeah.
And we're going to have weird shit happen here.
Yeah.
I was like, I assume they're coming for us. And then it became more and more clear. And now I feel like the deadline and the form in which I feel like Ray in Ghostbusters, who is not trying to not think of the form of Gozer, it's coming for us. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I'm sure he's going to bring him into Chicago first.
Or maybe LA. I mean,
they're already in LA.
Yeah, they have the Marines in LA.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, LA is the model, I think, at this point. And now DC is a fleshed out version of that. And now they're going to try to figure out what the fuck else they can do. I will say that the week and a half or 2 weeks that I have had, I think I would prefer to know more about the news, but I'm also kind of okay not knowing about the news right now.
How are you?
I'm not well.
Right. Just so you guys know, Dan has discussed some of the things that were going on, but not all.
Yeah.
It's even more than he's maybe even posted. He has had, it's like he got a monkey's paw, you guys. It has truly been horrific. Yeah. So everybody, please be nice to Dan, and because he's gone through it.
Yeah. It has been in a 3-day window, we put our dog to sleep, and I had to say goodbye to my parents' house for the last time. Either of those are bad enough, but doing it all in one shot, not great. Yeah, it's not been good. Our dog has been on a steady decline for about the last 6 months, and then sort of accelerated that decline significantly in the kind of last 2 weeks of her life.
I'm so sorry.
We reached the point where, and I appreciate this about how we approach the end of life of pets versus the end of life of people, where we actually say, hey, you know what? I think this person, this animal is no longer happy.
Right.
And I think perhaps that's a marker, but yeah, so we had to say goodbye to Spotty, which was very hard.
And I know there was even more going on than that.
There was significantly more going on, but I'm not going to get into all of it.
He's not going to get into it, but I just can tell you guys it was.
Yeah.
If you could imagine worse than that, he was going through worse than that. Yeah. That is why we're all going to be really nice to Dan.
Yeah, it was it.
Form a protective circle.
Yeah, there were definitely multiple points in the last couple of weeks where it was like, there's a curse happening.
I was very, very worried about you.
Yeah, not great. But I will say, we are on the road now. We are.
Well, you're such a good family. You know what I mean? You're just such a good gang.
As hard as it is actually to be on the road without Spotty, because she always travels with us, and so you kind of get very used to being in a anonymous looking hotel room like this one with the dog, and so now it's like, wait, where is she? As hard as that is, we function very well as a family on the road together, and it did. I actually think that it is. I think it is good for all of us to be sort of
together,
cooped up in a car for a while, all in the same hotel room, all of that kind of thing. The bummer is the end result of all of this is, we send the big one off on his way again and return back home as a three instead of a 4. So that's a bit of a bummer too. But we do have this. But yeah, it's not been great, Maureen. It's definitely not been great.
But you have us, Dan. We
Indeed.
form a protective circle around Dan. You guys.
Indeed.
After a while, because sometimes when things go wrong, I send you a cake, and after a while, I was like, "We're gonna need a bigger ice cream cake. Like they're gonna have to make like a 16-foot ice cream cake." I was like, "Get Mr. Carvel on the phone. We're gonna need a very big Fudgy the Whale.
Yeah,
we're gonna need a whale-sized Fudgy the Whale for this shit."
It's been a time. It has.
It was like you were Job, but Dan, it's and you're doing it during fascism. So we'll always remember. Yeah. It's like. When you wonder right now why everything is so hard, it's like when you're exercising and then you're like, oh, wait, I'm at altitude. I'm up the top of a mountain and I have less oxygen.
Yeah, totally.
Everything is much harder. So everything you're doing now, you're doing with under fascism.
Yeah.
Which is why every decision you make is sort of like, hey, what's the long term on that? What's about to happen? What's about to happen with like prices and healthcare and I mean, we're justice, people's lives, etc.
Yeah.
Everything's harder. Turns
Everything
out fascism totally blows, but people don't.
That's true.
People don't. And and also things are getting fixed. Like right now, there's a summit in Alaska. With Trump and Putin, and apparently yesterday Trump said he was going to Russia, so he doesn't know where the fuck he is.
He also referenced Leningrad.
Yeah.
Which has not been a place in like 30 years.
What is Leningrad now? I forget.
St. Petersburg.
St. Petersburg.
Yeah. Like it's been St. Petersburg since the 90s.
Maybe he has a very old copy of Risk.
That reminds me, growing up, I had Monopoly, as every kid does. But because my family lived in England for a number of years, and I have an older sister, so like they acquired a copy of Monopoly when they were living there. And that was the Monopoly that we always played. And so every Monopoly street reference and stuff like that, like I don't know the American Monopoly at all. So yeah, I'm all about like the Reading Railroad and all of that. Mayfair, I think
it has a very interesting history because it turns out it was an anti-landlord game.
Yeah, it's true.
That was bought out, turned into a, hey, wouldn't it be great to own all this property and rake money off of people?
Anyway, very old game of Risk was where I came from there.
Well, they're figuring out what to do about the war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
At the last minute, they, I guess, let Zelensky be nearby while they're discussing.
So they're meeting in Alaska, so Zelensky gets to be in like Vancouver or something.
He wasn't involved at first, but now I think he's allowed to be around, but potentially not in the discussions.
Perfect. I was remembering the last time they met, which was during his previous presidency, and how he seized his translator's notes, and like it didn't go well the last time. It was a little bit weird.
Well, I'm sure they'll fix it now.
That's going to go great.
I mean, it's hard. The blows have been coming from all directions for so long.
Yeah.
Um, people have made many jokes about the summit that somehow we're going to give back Alaska or we're going to somehow acquire Greenland in this deal.
Yeah.
Oscar remains convinced that America is going to seize Greenland. He's like, it's going to happen.
I mean, I feel like that's fallen off the radar.
He's still like, it's happening. And he has a whole thing about it, like why it matters.
Okay.
And why they might not let it go.
Okay.
It's about shipping and like resources and like how, he's like, they're going to take America's going to take it. Like they're eventually going to go up and take it.
Okay.
At the rate they're going.
Yeah.
So, I always check in with him and go, hey, hey, foreign man.
Yeah.
How you feeling in terms of your red lines? Because one of his has always been like martial law. I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, well, it's not like martial law in the way that I was like full martial law, I think is his red line, Yeah. So we're constantly having these chats about things like that.
The trick of full martial law as being a red line is if you're waiting till full martial law, you're probably not getting out.
That's the conversation.
Yeah. Like I feel like there needs to be one step before so that the exit can happen.
That is the conversation we end up having a lot.
Yeah.
And also sometimes I just laugh. Like, for example, Dan, the ongoing saga of me trying to get this shot in my foot, I've sort of given up on it.
How's that going
I'm like,
now?
I'm never going to get it. Like, I've kind of given up. But the trouble is I've developed something in my hand that may be carpal tunnel.
Okay.
Like I've been having trouble bending my thumb, and it's moving into this finger as well, and it's very sharp and burning pain.
Yeah.
And I did some online Googling. My mom looked. She's like, it's potentially carpal tunnel. And I looked it up, and I was like, I'm probably going to have to ask my doctor for a referral to a hand person I need my hand. Like I was having trouble holding a can yesterday. I was having trouble getting my finger around it. And I was like, but what am I going to end up doing? Another like 4 months of like, what if he's like, you need a shot? And then the company's like, you can't have a shot. You can just go fuck yourself. And I'm like, is this it? Like, why am I even? And I realized I was like, why even bother? Why even bother trying to get treatment?
Yeah. That's good.
So that's sort of, and I was like, but if we went to England,
you could just do it.
We could do it.
I do feel like healthcare is going to be what pushes us out the door, possibly before any of the other red lines, because it is becoming completely impossible. Like, to just a ridiculous treat. But I will tell you, I have the same thing in my thumb. And I had a hand x-ray earlier this year. And I think that it is arthritic, and it's from holding a fucking phone. Yeah.
I don't really. Yeah, mine's like an electrical sharp pain, and it's only in one spot. And it fucking hurts like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I have to like press right here sometimes very hard because it will hurt.
Well, Dan, just the fact that the things that we haven't even hit the rocks yet with the whole healthcare, food, all the stuff that the big beautiful bill is going to. That stuff really lands on our shores. What, January or?
It all depends. Some of it is time to not hit till the midterms are done. But the healthcare shit's rapidly approaching. For those of us that buy our own through the exchange, we're royally fucked. For people that are getting it through the Medicare expansion are especially fucked. We've been dealing with some health things this year, and there is sort of a feeling of needing to speed run them because we might not be able to afford them again next year, So it's, that's the kind of shit that it's just like, the decisions, and this is long before Trump came along, right? But the decisions that this country made in terms of the disposability of its citizens vis-a-vis health is just insane. And that health related decisions are made based on what can we afford. The craziest thing. So one of the reasons why we have to speed run, and this is being said largely for our non-American listeners, because American listeners fully understand this, right? But there's some health stuff that has a follow-up, right? And if that follow-up happens after December 31st, we reset and have to meet our deductible again.
Yep.
So this year we're in that lucky position of having already met our deductible. So everything's, fairly covered. And the idea that you then have to reset just based on the timing of a thing is insane.
Yeah. Or things like, I was talking to Oscar because I have to go to get a physical in order to get my prescriptions renewed. I have to have a physical every year. Yeah. And I was like, I could ask about my hand when I'm there and get the referral. And he's like, there was this thing about the insurance they used to have at work where if I asked for anything during the physical, it would kind of null and void the physical part of it in terms of their billing. And I was like, what? Yeah. What is this madness? He's like, yeah, it might be better to ask separately, because if they do any else, but what if it comes up incidentally as part of the physical, he finds that I'm having issues with my thumb. Yeah. Then I get a referral as part of the physical. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. It might be like a billing problem. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
This is so nuts. It is like it is a genuinely impossible game to win.
Yeah. Our health system has implemented a thing that's basically now like you can come for one thing. If you have two things, you need two appointments.
Yeah.
You can't be like, I have a cough and a pain.
Yeah. They can only do one.
Yeah. It's madness.
Yeah. And it's only getting worse. And so whenever I describe it truly, Dan, every time I was in England trying to describe what was going on, some people fully got it because they followed the news and were still shocked.
Yeah.
They really followed it and they're like, Jesus. But some people, you tell them and they just look at you and they're like, surely it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you just sound bonkers when you try to describe what's happening. You're like, no, really, there's a kid named Big Balls that might get the Congressional Medal of Freedom because some kids beat him up.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Big Balls maybe getting the Congressional Medal of Freedom?
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about it that hold on, let me see.
Big Balls getting beaten up is why there is now essentially martial law in Washington, D.C.
So it's being asked if the White House once could be receiving the highest civilian honor in the United States, placing him in the company of luminaries such as Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mother Teresa. 2 weeks after 19-year-old Edward Corsetine was viciously assaulted during a carjacking in Washington, the White House says it would consider giving the administration official a Presidential Medal of Freedom for his bravery.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You didn't know about that one. That was
information I didn't need to know.
Right. Yeah. Big Balls might get the what's going on right now?
Oh no.
He's talking an announcement of this year's Kennedy Center honorees, and he's talking about how it was rigged. And there's something going on right now with the Kennedy Center.
All right.
He's going to host the ceremony, something no president has done.
Perfect.
So apparently honors are going to Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, and Kiss.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Kiss, Michael Crawford, George Strait, Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor.
Perfect.
I mean, I agree with the Gloria Gaynor one.
Sure.
Everybody loves Gloria Gaynor.
Well, yeah.
In this house, we stand Gloria Gaynor. But, and he's going to host it. And also the whole thing about how he might change the name of it. And,
Yeah.
But yes, big balls, congressional. It's all so dumb. Or that, there was a shooting. Somebody shot at the CDC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't really follow up on shootings anymore. Remember when the Democratic House members in Minnesota were shot and killed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a 2-day story.
Dan, if you tried to map the American Revolution onto this,
okay,
we are far more into the battles than they were. Like when you think of the Boston Massacre,
yeah,
not many people were massacred in that massacre.
okay.
How many people were killed in the Boston Massacre? Was it like 3? How many people were killed? It's a confrontation. 9 British soldiers shot. Let me see here. How many people were killed? 8 soldiers. No, not even 8.
Okay.
The gunfire instantly killed 3 people and wounded 8 others, 2 of whom died of their wounds. So 3 people died on the scene.
Okay.
And 2 died of their wounds. So I was right. It was 3.
Okay.
And that is considered a monumental event.
Right.
The shooting of 3 citizens, or the Boston Tea Party, which interestingly was just the destruction of the tea company, but nothing else was touched. Mm-hmm. And apparently they also cleaned up after themselves.
Well, that's nice.
So we have open shooting we have open shooting going on everywhere.
Yeah.
We have an active ripping down of everything.
Mm-hmm.
We are arguably already in the war. I mean, wouldn't you say?
I mean, a war implies that there are 2 sides at this, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not sure that the American Revolutionary War is the right. I think that this is more of a Pinochet or something. Right. I mean,
it's a takeover.
Yeah, we're looking at sort of a takeover and a dismantling. I mean, I think I used to have a lot of work that brought me to Argentina every year. I went to Buenos Aires like 4 or 5 years in a row. It was great, right? But like, I think about like the friends and folks that I talked about there that lived through like the regime and how long it has taken and is continuing to take. Their economy is, shit again to recover from all of that, and how things just kind of like people still had to live their lives through all of that and exist, and how everything just kind of worked shittier, but still worked, and like that's to me so much of where we are and where we're heading, where things are just going to be shittier, and work less well, and and oh yeah, they're going to be fucking military in the streets and all of that, and it's like that, like I feel like that's the type of analogy that works a little bit better than the Revolutionary War right now, where there were 2 sides fighting.
I know. I just meant that if you even just look back, our events are bigger, already. But also, yes, like you were saying, apparently at CBS, they're installing someone on the board that's basically like a Trump censor.
Right. Yeah. Or, I mean, they just announced that some random woman is now in charge of overseeing all of the Smithsonian museums, who are going to be reviewing everything that they have on display for proper amounts of patriotism and telling a positive story about America. Right.
So let me ask you a question, Dan.
Yeah.
As a person, you grew up in a hippie or like an activist household where none of this would have been accepted.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a household where my parents were kind of Reagan Republican-ish, but my mom has completely branched off and has become a complete anti-MAGA, like I am pretty sure. I'm not saying my mom is going to start making Molotov cocktails, but I can't be 100% sure at this point.
Yeah.
She's following my lead at this point, which is fascinating. But my dad is into it.
Yeah.
And what do we do with the people in our lives who are into it? This is the question I grapple with constantly because I have to live with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's very difficult because the proper answer is they all need to fuck themselves, right? Like, but that's easier said than done when you're talking about people very close to you.
I'm literally writing about it in the new Stevie book because Stevie's parents are very like, I've mapped them as MAGA. Like and she confronts this. I'll give you a little spoiler. She decides to leave them.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to actually sort of address, like, what do you do with your feelings? Like, what do you do if this happens in your life? How do you deal with it? And it's hard. It is hard to look someone in the eye and know that they have been what some of the stuff they have been saying and thinking, and also kind of know that sometimes the lights aren't on, like they're just kind of repeating.
Right.
Because they've stolen so many older people.
Yeah, definitely.
Like truly, I will say that my dad watches Fox all the time and then just repeats words.
Right.
Like he's chanting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you'll be like, what is it? What did you learn? And he'll just say, just Biden, Biden, Biden. Like he's haunted.
Right.
It's very weird to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do we do with what do we do with the rest of us
when there is an entire media ecosystem built around entrapping people, you know, and where people in power at every level at this point will lie and then will say, no, the people that are trying to tell the truth are the liars, you know, like that's very, like, I mean, you've studied cults, right? Like it's everything that is happening is cult-like behavior, you know, and the denial of reality, in the, you know, kind of shunning those that the few that speak up against it, you know. I mean, I think we saw the closest that we'll get to cracks with the Epstein stuff, and now where's the Epstein stuff? You know, like it's people have fallen back in line there. So it's very hard.
I will say the ones
it's very hard.
The ones that follow a charismatic leader, tend to, especially if there's any sign of dissent, or any kind of outside cracking, they kind of end in self-immolation. They kill their own members if necessary.
Yeah.
I could see very much, you know, Trump is a little bit of a Jim Jones. Like he just listens to himself on repeat. Jim Jones was on tons of drugs and was just having persecution fantasies and was just rambling to himself all day and building a wall around himself of believers, and wearing his giant glasses because he was so fucking stoned out of his mind, and just recording himself and playing recordings of himself. That's what Trump's acting like. He's acting like fucking Jim Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure he's Adderalled out of his skull.
Yeah.
He's making word substitutions all the time. He's saying crazier and crazier shit. That, I mean, on top of like just bad stuff, just weirdly incorrect stuff, just misspeaking or not knowing who's behind him, or, you know, he's losing touch.
Yes, definitely.
So as they lose touch, they become more nihilistic.
I mean, the thing that I cling to, and I think it is a coping strategy as much as anything else, is anyone that's going to fill the void when it happens. Nobody has the same juice. You know, nobody has the charisma. Nobody has the ability to kind of keep the spell going, in the same way. And that doesn't mean that suddenly everyone comes to their senses by any means.
Right. Oh, no.
Right? But I do think that it is going to cause a fracturing. I think it's going to, you know, there's not going to be the same level of lockstep among the right, because nobody can command the attention and the presence. I mean, do you think fucking JD Vance is stepping in? Like, you think
No, we're going to see the worst
Rubio is
audition of
stepping
all
in?
time. The worst audition of all time. It's going to
Right.
be terrible.
Yeah, you know, and so
All the clowns.
yeah, so there's that. Like, but it's we should turn it around. We should turn this around.
Well, the future is local. Like, the future is networks. The future
Yeah.
is other people.
It's true.
Always has been.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that all of this is laid bare is what has always been true.
Right.
These fuckers, they have a disease and they have lost touch with their humanity.
Yeah.
And getting back in touch with and always remembering now more than ever, other people are what matter.
Yeah.
Is laid very, very bare.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm also just not going to get my foot injection. So, you know, it's fine. I am going to something tonight, maybe. I signed up for it and I don't know if I'm going. But occasionally,
you said this in the same breath as foot injection, so I'm assuming it's some sort of collective foot injection party.
well, kind of.
Okay.
It's called Dance Church.
Okay.
And it's like a weekly thing that happens. It happens all around the country, but there is a branch of it here in the East Village.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a weekly, you do it for exercise, but it's basically like you go in and it's this big room and everybody's just wearing loose clothing. And there is like an instructor, like a leader.
Okay.
That's like, here's some dance moves. But like, they're like, but if you can't keep up, you just kind of dance around. Like, it's just a room full of people that are just like sweating it out and dancing around.
What's the
for
church
an hour.
part?
It's because it makes you feel like kind of like you're just all in a room dancing together.
Okay.
And you feel good because you're like just getting it out by dancing around in a room together.
I feel like this is you being like, there's this cool cult that I'm going to go check out.
I have been really looking for one.
Okay.
It's just you go in and you dance around in a room with people for an hour. That's the whole thing.
Uh-huh. Okay. You're going to come back from this talking about Jesus somehow.
No, it's real. I think it is what it says on the tin. It's like you feel better
but
when
it says church on the tin.
As a joke.
It says church on the tin, Maureen.
As a joke. In other words, it's like go in and dance it out. That's our church, is that we dance it out. Like we just dance around.
All right.
They're being like, you know, the whole thing is just dancing around.
Mm-hmm. Sounds great.
They're like, just wear comfortable clothes and come dance, and that's it. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Shake it out. And
At
they're
some
like, you feel
point,
good
there's going to
afterwards?
be a flipped around chair, and you know who else likes to dance?
On water.
Exactly.
Nope. It is what it says on the tin. It's just some people dancing.
That's the problem.
It's taught by some dancers, and you just dance.
Okay.
It's not a church then. They made it like kind of, it's a joke.
That's what they always say.
I bet you could use a little dance church this week. Just dance around in a room.
See, this is how now you're recruiting.
Dan, if you were just in a room and you could just dance around to some punk music for an hour, that wouldn't be bad, would it?
No, that wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. Just people are like, I fucking had it. Let's dance for an hour.
Okay.
And the thing about it is that you don't have to be good. Because I would never, like, the whole thing is like, it's literally like, don't be afraid to come dance around. Because if you can't keep up, you can literally just like go to the side of the room, just kind of do your own dance. Just the whole point is like,
learn about Jesus.
Just dance around because, you know, they're like, you'll feel better once you kind of dance around.
All right.
And you feel like you leave the bullshit. If you leave the bullshit at the door, you dance around to some pop music and then you're like, hey, phew, all right. Shit feels less heavy.
All right. That sounds great.
I'm also a terrible dancer. That's why I was like, it's okay, because they're like, you don't have to be a good dancer. All you have to do is like, just be silly, just dance around.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying anyway. Hopefully it's not. I'm not going to get in there and everyone's going to be like 1, 2, 3, and because I am bad at dancing. Like I turn the wrong way.
That note, Says Who is made possible by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. It's our Patreon where pretty much every Sunday, except for the month of August, you get this all over again. You get me and Maureen doing a little thing we call the Town Watch. It's if you give it the $5 level, add another $5 to that, and not only do you get the Town Watch, but you get a sticker in the mail every month because you become a member of the Says Who Sticker Club. And who knows? Maybe there'll be some new stuff. We'll chat about that when things settle down a little bit. But all of that's available to you at patreon.com/sayswho. Our theme music was performed by Ted Leo. Our logo was designed by Darth. You can contact us at sayswhopodcast.com on Blue Sky, at sayswho at omfg.town on Mastodon. You can always email it. Hey, that's HEY at sayswhopodcast.com. I'm doing all of this by memory, Maureen. Not looking at a single note right now.
I'm looking at the, meet your teachers. Some of them are drag artists.
Okay.
Some of them pole dancer. One's also a lawyer.
Okay.
Bunch of choreographers, but a bunch of these are taught by drag artists.
You can join our Facebook group at /group/SaysWhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. There's also the fan-run Discord server at tinyurl.com/sayswhodiscord, I think. And you can always please leave stars, reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you listen. And we will not have an episode next week because I will be in the thralls of moving a child into an apartment. But we will see us at the end of the month. And that's the deal. From this Hampton Inn in Longmont, Colorado, I'm Dan Sinker.
And I'm going tonight only if I feel like I've done enough, but okay. I'm hoping to go and then I'll tell you how Dance Church went. But it's I'll tell you if it went. And I was dancing around in a room with it's like, looks like a little dance. Like basically like, are you having a bad day? Come have a little dance party.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Dan, we need a little dance party right now.
It's true. That part's true.
Hey, Dan, thinking about you. You Thanks. Take care of you.
Indeed.
Well,
say your name. Say that part.
My name?
Mm-hmm.
Who me?
You.
I coming to you from a place of change, of growth, of wanting to just get out there and experience and shake it off, as Taylor Swift says, just shake it off. I'm Maureen Johnson.
Hey, this has been Says Who.